already super excited about Pokemon Legends Arceus, but now I am even more excited. Hello. The Pokemon Legends Arceus part of the trailer was jam-packed full of hidden details and little secrets about the game. So today I'm going to be breaking that down for you all. I made a similar video for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which I will now call BDSP because it's so hard to say all of that at once. If you want to check out my breakdown of those games, it'll be linked at the end of this video. I'm also going to be making videos breaking down the entire Hisui region as well as its regional forms, so if you're interested in videos like that, make sure you hit subscribe. Now on to the breakdown. Let's start off by talking about the main village, which we found out is actually Jubilife. I thought for sure that it was Eterna based on where it was on the map, but yeah, it's confirmed that it's actually Jubilife, so I was wrong about that. This is still a little strange based on where Jubilife is located geographically, but in terms of the lore of the place, it kind of makes sense. We finally get to see what's on the other end of that street from that first trailer. Before we were just seeing the gate, but now we see that opposite from the gate is this giant building that's like the headquarters for Team Galaxy. We see Galarian and Weezing statues on top of the main building. This is super weird because people have always speculated that Weezing was kind of a man-made Pokemon, but the fact that Galarian Weezing exists so far into history suggests that Weezing may occur naturally. We see some statues and architecture made out of jade, which is similar to the secret base statues in the BDSP trailer. Could this mean that jade statues in BDSP are just like really super duper old, which is why they're so valuable? We also see this building in Jubilife that looks kind of like a hair salon because of the scissors. So this suggests that we'll probably be able to change our character's hair in addition to characters' outfits, which is already 100% confirmed. I'm gonna be going way more in depth when I do my full map analysis, so stay tuned for that. For now, we're gonna be moving on to talking about Team Galaxy. We know that Team Galaxy is going to become Team Galactic, so this makes it a very interesting dynamic seeing them as heroes in the past as opposed to villains. We're even going to be playing as a Team Galaxy member, so for all of you that wanted to join Team Rocket before, now you get to plan an evil team. This wasn't actually in the direct, but it says on the official website for Pokemon Legends Arceus that whatever trainer you don't pick is going to be kind of like your partner slash rival. Okay, on to Team Galaxy leadership. The first guy we see is Commander Kamado, and he's confirmed to be a relative of Professor Rowan. The website also says that Commander Kamado is the boss of the Galaxy team. Usually teams in Pokemon are evil, so he might potentially be the big bad of this game. It also says in the presents that he's earned the unwavering trust of the people around him. Unwavering is kind of dangerous. Like, it seems like the people around him are just kind of blindly following rather than thinking for themselves. He also says that Pokemon are terrifying creatures, which is totally what a villain would say. Cyllene, on the other hand, looks like an ancestor of Cyrus. Not only does she have a very similar face and hair, but her name, Cyllene, is super similar to Cyrus. It says that Cyllene is really, really tough, but she's also your biggest supporter. I originally thought this room was the Professor's, which is why I thought that the Professor would be an ancestor of Cyrus, you know, because Cyrus has Honchkrow, and there's like a little stand for like a bird to kind of perch. So I was kind of sort of right about this room being for one of Cyrus's ancestors, but I was not right about this being the Professor. Speaking of the Professor, well, Professor Laventon's probably from Galar, since in the previous trailer it says he travels, plus the Galarian Weezing statues, and his name and attire looks super British. But other than him being from Galar, we don't know that much about him. We do know he has an Abra, which is probably used to explain how he teleports to all of the different campsites, since we see him at each and every one. And no ancestors for Cynthia. In terms of the people under them in Team Galaxy, it seems like the Security Corps might be studying something with rotation? Not entirely sure what this means. We also find out that these people legit know nothing about Pokemon. Like, they don't even know that Wurmple evolves. Even though that seems a little bit unbelievable, it's gonna be fun to find out all of these different details about Pokemon, even what they eat. I'm curious what we'll need to do to find this information though. Like, I hope we're not just catching a whole bunch of Pokemon of the same species. On to the mechanics. The We can see from the bottom right that the player is getting ready to throw a Pokeball. There's like an X button on the bottom. That's kind of like the option to switch. Here we see that same bottom right section, but it shows 3 Pokemon. Again, you can use X to switch. I wonder if we're gonna be able to switch between things other than Pokemon and Pokeballs. Like, we're probably also gonna be able to switch between items in general. Maybe like an item that even heals our trainer if they get hurt. This might even be how we switch to key items. For example, an item that will let us traverse the terrain differently, like flying or surfing or something like that. In this part, we see the Pokemon Camp feature, and it's very clear here that we can carry 6 Pokemon. We see that the player has a Crobat, so there will be some sort of friendship mechanic incorporated in these games, probably related to Pokemon Camp. Here we see the player take damage. The screen goes dark around the edges too, so maybe this player is stunned. We know that when a trainer is knocked out, the screen fades completely to black, so because it's only fading around the edges, this has to be something else. We also get a sneak peek at some crafting mechanics, which for me is super exciting because I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan, and Pokemon hasn't done a ton with crafting in the past. For example, there's a new item called a Tumblestone. It looks like one of those smooth rocks you can get from a rock tumbler. Looks like it's used with apricorns to craft different types of Pokeballs. I feel like it's important to note here that in every single Sinnoh game, it's specifically stated that apricorns don't grow in Sinnoh because of the climate. I'm wondering what happened in Sinnoh in order to change the climate, or if they're just kind of being like, all right, we're just gonna ignore that piece of lore for this game. Something that fits better with Sinnoh lore is that Pokemon can attack certain trees to make different things fall out of them. Specifically here we see apricorns and maybe some berries or something fall out of these trees, which makes sense because this game really does seem to have a crafting system. So in addition to using berries in like the normal way that we usually do in Pokemon games, it seems like we'll also be using them to craft. And will Pokemon fall out of these trees as well? That is yet to be determined. One of the biggest mechanical changes in this game is the addition of battle styles. This is truly going to change up the combat in Pokemon like pretty much nothing has done before. Basically, with this system, some Pokemon are going to be able to attack more than once. It's not going to be turn-based. If you guys have played Pokemon Masters, you're probably more familiar with this type of battle style. So if you haven't played Pokemon Masters, I recommend checking that out to get kind of a feel for what this type of combat is like. Strong style attacks are gonna hit harder but slower. Agile style attacks won't hit quite as hard, but you'll be able to get more hits in a row. On to how we actually traverse the terrain in this game, which, oh my god, so crazy exciting. Like, this introduction to flight is perfect in every way. Note that this is in the icy area, which I suspect is the last area we go to, so we probably won't get flight until very late in the game. Looks like we can fly up and down in addition to around the region. This has very interesting implications for this game because it is so much more open world, and we have Mount Coronet, so like, can we fly to the top of Mount Coronet instead of having to walk it? That is game changing. We can also traverse the terrain on Weirdeer and Basculegion. While surfing, we can also jump over obstacles. So I'm wondering if there will just be an imaginary barrier at the end of the water, since we probably won't be blocked by terrain. We'll probably have the same sort of limitations for flight as well. Also, minor note that we kind of already knew, but weather is going to be incorporated into these games because here we see that it's raining. In terms of the actual story of these games, this trailer was kind of light, but there were a few things that I noticed. The big tree seems a lot more important than I realized. Like, I thought it was just some random tree, but like, it seems like it's actually tied to the top of Mount Coronet somehow, but we just don't know a lot about it yet. The colorful cells here remind me of Zygarde, and the tree reminds me of Yveltal, but it seems a little bit weird for them to be in this game, so I don't know about that. It also seems like whatever is going on with the tree in the top of Mount Coronet is also related to these boss Pokemon. These are the ones with the red eyes. I'm wondering if these are actually shadow Pokemon. I personally didn't think shadow Pokemon were ever going to appear again after the GameCube games, but then they were introduced in Pokemon Go. It's such a cool concept, and I'm really hoping that it's kind of similar to the GameCube games, where you had to like go to this shrine to unlock their hearts. Like, the shrine could either be like the tree or the top of Mount Coronet or something like that, and you go there and then you can like purify your shadow shadow Pokemon and they become your bestest buddies. But we have really like no official communication about what is up with these Pokemon. Like the website doesn't even mention them. So yeah, this trailer definitely gives us a lot to think about. As I said at the beginning, I made a video similar to this for BDSP, so if you like this video, you should definitely check out that one, which will be linked somewhere on the screen. I'm also going to be breaking down the map for Pokemon Legends Arceus as well as the regional forums. So subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Bye!